So this morning when I woke up, I spent a lot too much time on my phone. And on top of that, I was trying to think of what video I wanted to make today for Vlogmas. And on top of that, I had some errands I had to do. I had to go to the bank and I had to get some mail and this and that and the other thing. This morning was interesting. I had about 800 things I wanted to do all at once. My brain was just, and I was like, as a result of all of that, I was getting overstimulated and I didn't want to do any of it. And that's when it hit me. It's gonna be some half-decent weather today. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go for a run. My last run was in September of this year. So it was like September, October, like 3 months ago. When I was thinking about how long it has been and like when I used to run every single day, I was thinking about how I think of running now and how I thought of running then. So I went on my run this morning because I really was just, my brain was so full of just stuff and I felt like I needed to let go of all that for a minute. And so I felt like running was like the way to do it, because every time I had run in the past, I always remember getting into, and it never took super long, but I always remember getting into some kind of flow state. I described it in a video a long time ago as like, I kind of was on autopilot. Once I got to a certain point, I wasn't running anymore. Like my body was just going forward and I didn't really feel it, if that makes any sense. Like I was not aware that I was running. Like I didn't feel like I was running. And it's really every time after that I've run, it's felt that way. Where once I kind of get going, even if it's been a while, and it all starts to hurt a little more and I'm not as used to it, my breathing isn't the same and whatnot, but every time since I made that realization, and really even before that, I get into that flow state and just everything other than the path ahead of me doesn't exist. It's gone. Because I just really needed that complete disconnect from everything else that's going on. And it's not like I'm super stressed out or anything. This morning particularly, everything was like all at once. So I just needed to kind of like calm it down and just let it go. So when I go on my runs, like I mentioned, I get into this sort of flow state. And when that happens, again, like I said, I just kind of don't feel anything. And that's kind of nice because, you know, especially if I haven't run in a long time, I get to the point where it hurts a little bit more and I'm a little bit more winded, and it's just overall a tougher task to run a mile than it had been when I was running every single day and I was used to it and I was like breaking my own PR and stuff. And I think part of how it gets that way to where I'm just kind of in the flow and I don't really feel anything except for what I'm doing is that I'm so focused on one thing and I'm so mindful about one thing, and that is it. There's only one thing I'm worried about, and that is the run at hand. So when I used to run every single day, I got that feeling almost every single day. But now that I only run every now and again, it's a little bit different. See, now running is more of, I guess it's more of a hobby. Like, I do it every now and again. It's very irregular, but when I do it, I enjoy it, and I enjoy the results of it. I think of it kind of like really any other sport, playing basketball. I don't play basketball every day, but when I do, it's fun, and I like how I feel after I've done it. Not only how I feel physically, but how I feel mentally. I'm just on autopilot, and I'm enjoying the moment. So my relationship with running, I think the best way I think I can compare it is running to me is like an old friend. One you don't necessarily have to be with every single day. You don't even have to talk to them every single day. But when you end up getting that time together, whenever I do end up going on a run, it feels like I just picked up right where I left off. I still get the same joy and the same good feeling out of it that I always have. And honestly, I feel like that's really, really good because I don't feel any pressure to run, but I also, when I do run, I don't feel any sort of shame or guilt or anything like that when I'm not necessarily physically up to par with how I was in the past. I know that when I'm running, I'm not really doing it to get super fast or whatever. I'm really just doing it for the mental benefits, and obviously the physical benefits come along with that, but really the intention, I think, is to just help me to kind of get grounded and back on track. So now that I've run today, after my morning of brain fog, I've gone on my run and I've done everything I need to do, now all of a sudden, the video's done.